Nowadays, I can watch a person do a few push-ups and tell you if they're going to have a shoulder problem in 10 years. And it's usually not the people you think. Today, I want to make sure you're not slowly ruining your shoulders without even knowing it. And here's how to check for yourself in about 5 seconds. Now get down on the floor and lower into the bottom of a push-up. Don't come back up. Just hang out there a second and notice what your shoulders and elbows are doing. If your shoulders shrug and your elbows flare a bit, well, that's going to cost you down the road. I've had my own shoulder problems over the years. Bad enough I needed surgery on it in my 30s. But I didn't baby my shoulders. I knew that would only keep me weak. Instead, I learned to control my shoulders under load. And that's why I can still train judo and BJJ at 53 years old. Now, the next few moves are going to teach you how to build this control so you don't run into any problems throughout the years. Stick around to the end and I'll show you how to put it all into a simple routine. Let's get into it. You've already tried out the first move, the bottom hold of a push-up. And this is what we build everything off of. Now I want you to take note of your shoulders and see if they're creeping up toward your ears. If they are, pull them back and down. Now check out your elbows. If they're winging out to the sides, I want you to bring them in closer, pointing back towards your feet instead of out to the sides. And really, that's the whole game. Your shoulders pulled back and down and elbows tucked in. Every single move in this video, those same two things, showing you how to do it at different levels. This position matters because when your shoulders shrug and your elbows flare, the joints end up doing the work your muscles should be doing. Now do that for years and your shoulders are going to start aching before you know it. Tuck it in, and your muscles carry the load of the moves the way they're built to. And that's also going to help you in getting more advanced skills with less discomfort down the line. Now let's take that same position and make it vertical. So drive your hips up and bend your arms. This is the bent arm A-frame, and I have my clients focus on the same two things when they do this in our Elements program. Shoulders pulling away from your ears and elbows pointing back. The mistake here is letting your shoulders ride up when the weight shifts and flaring your elbows. So keep those elbows pulled in and your shoulders pulled back and down. And you can adjust this by sitting yourself further back or challenging yourself by moving your shoulders further over your hands. And then adjusting the height of your shoulders. Just remember to keep those shoulders pulled down and elbows in. I can't stress this enough. And now we're going to flip things over with the crab setup. So sit down. Hands behind you, and lift your hips into a crab position. This trains the other direction, the front of your shoulders instead of the back. This is the same cue, but flipped around. Those shoulders pulled down away from your ears, chest open, elbows pointing back. And if you're shrugging up or your chest is caving in, you're loading the joint again instead of the muscle. And these points are things that so many people gloss over, and it's one reason why I see people's shoulders start hurting as they age. All right, so far you've been holding the position. Now let's add movement and load to it. Now before that though, I want you to think about a squat. You can stand up out of a chair all day long, no problem. But put a heavy bar on your back with sloppy form and something's gonna give. Your shoulders are the same. Holding a position with good form might be easy, but holding it while you actually push back up is where things break down. Now before anybody types in the comments, I am aware, yes, that tucking your elbows in makes it harder, and yes, it hits the chest differently. If a bigger chest is your only goal, well, flare away, or better yet, go grab some weights. Done right though, the elbow tuck still works your chest. And more importantly, it also builds a shoulder that's still functional in 20 years from now. Okay, let's get to work with the full push-up. Lower down with your shoulders back and elbows tucked. Go down to the floor, press back up without letting anything fall apart. Go slow. Control's gonna beat speed here every time when you're working on proper form. And you can speed it up later once you get this down. Now onto the vertical version with the inverted press. Pike your hips up into an upside down V. Bend your elbows to bring your head toward the floor and press back up. Yep, it's the same cue. Shoulders down, elbows in, even with inverted pressing. And this is something that I have our clients really focus on when working through integral strength. And this stair-step approach, where you own the position before you load it, is how I program everything so nothing breaks. All right, back to the crab. And now we're gonna put it into motion. So keep your hips up, shoulders pulled down, step your hands and your feet, alternating them. Every step is a little single arm load, forcing you to improve your control and straight arm strength. This is one thing I see missing in a lot of people's pressing. And doing this is gonna help combat all the forward pressing that is so prevalent in a typical workout. Now, once you have those down, here's some examples of where this can build toward. In the pushing direction, you can do the Spider-Man, then the single arm version. Vertically, you can work toward bent arm floating holds and even handstand push-ups. And the crab opens up into bridges and rotations. Now I'm just showing you the road so that you can see how far this goes. And it's a path you can keep going on for years, just as long as you stick to the cues I taught you today of keeping your shoulders pulled back and down and elbows tucked in. Now here's how to put it all together. Pick one move from each direction at a level you can do with great form. A push, a vertical, and a crab variation. Set your timer for 1 minute for each move, and then do that for 3 rounds. Doing this session 2 to 3 times a week. Do that, and you build the kind of shoulders that keep you training for decades. If you want more, check out this next video.